Hey guys, this is Night 3D. Today I'll be working on this Spider-Man bus from 3D Wicked. As you can tell, I'm working on my Zenova highlight like I always do first. I'm just going in the direction of my light source. Just a nice even layer of the white on it. Just so when I add my base paint, I don't have to work too hard. And I can start building that contrast up slowly and know what direction my shadow is going to be. But yeah, I'm working on it right now. I'll come back in the next part when I start painting. Okay, I'm also doing the base. I'm adding my Zenithal highlight to it. Just going over nice and easy like I always do on my prints. This makes it easier when I add my base coat, my first layer. And yeah, I'm just going in the direction of my light source, a nice even white. But yeah, this is it. I'll see you on the next one when I start painting. Okay guys, I'm back. I'll be adding my first layer of paint, which is this Vallejo Bloody Red. I'm just doing this a nice even coating in the direction of my light source. I don't want it too thick because when I want to start building my paint little by little, adding that color and contrast to it, trying to get that Spider-Man red I see in the comics. But yeah, just trust the process, guys. This is my very first Spider-Man I'm doing, so it's all the reds and everything's new to me, but let's do this. Alright guys, so right now I'm adding my second layer of paint. I'm adding this bloody red plus this orange fire. I'm mixing them together and get until I get the color tint I want to paint in it. I'm testing my hand right now to see if I like the color. You know, my airbrush is working good, which it is. So I'm gonna add it to my Spider-Man head. I'm just going over nice and easy, light layers, nothing too thick and heavy, because I still want to build that contrast up. And I'm just going in the direction of my light source. But this is what I'm doing right now. I'll see you in the next layer. Alright guys, so I believe this is my third layer of paint. I'm adding this bloody red and this dead white together. I'm gonna mix it up until I like the red I get. I use a very, very little dead white, just like maybe 2 drops, and a lot of bloody red, just so it doesn't turn out pink. And I'm testing on my hand to make sure I like the red and flows good from the airbrush. And then I'm gonna get started on my Spider-Man head. I'm doing it nice and evenly. I don't want anything too thick, because this is my top layer. I still want all the base layers of paint to show through. So I'm just going in nice and evenly, direction of my light source, very fine layers. That's all I'm doing. And the reason why I'm using bloody red, because that's my primary red most of the time, and I want to make sure I have the same red throughout all my layers, just different shades. But yeah, this is all I'm doing right now. I'll see you on the next layer. Until then. Okay guys, this is my fourth layer of paint, I believe. I'm adding this orange fire, this yellow, and bloody red together. I'm gonna mix them up until I get the paint I want. This is my top highlight. My very, very top. It's like a more orangey reddish kind of feel to it, because I felt like it was getting a little bit too pink. So I wanted to start bringing it down, that more saturation kind of look, and get it like more highlighted orange, because his costume's not like fully red. It's like orange red kind of. So that's what I was going for right here, and I think it captured really well. I'm just going over it nice and easy. I still want that pinkish, reddish look to come out, but like more blended in with each other, you know. So that's what I'm going for right now in my mind. I'm thinking about it. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. Just going over nice and easy. Direction of my highlight. Just getting a nice even base to it. I'll see you on the next part. Alright guys, I'm on my next step, which is doing the blue for Spider-Man. I already masked the area of all my red I had. I did coat it beforehand so that none of my paint comes off when I'm ripping off the tape. But yeah, I'm doing magic blue. I chose magic blue because I felt like it was in between blue, not too light, but not too dark. I wanted like a nice even base blue so I can start adding my highlights and shadows later on. But yeah, I'm just going with it nice and easy, nothing too thick, nothing too heavy, just nice even layers so I can start building my contrast up later on in the video. But yeah, this is what I'm doing for right now. I'll see you on the next one. Alright, now I'm adding my second layer of blue. This is my shadow. This is night blue. This is a lot darker blue than magic blue. For this one, I'm not going to spray it all over. I'm just going to go right in the cracks where you see those muscles starting to bulge. That's where I'm going right there. I'm focused on that a little bit more. I want that blue to penetrate more in there than anything else. Just trying to go in the direction of the shadow I see naturally and start defining that muscle more. And that's what I'm trying to work on more, is just getting more of that detail in, using less paint spraying all over the place and more focusing on the specific shadows I see in the sculpture. Because I've been watching videos on other people doing it, and this I see them doing it. So this is my first time actually doing it. So I'm very hopeful it looks good. I think it turned out really great. But yeah, this is what I'm focusing on right now, just the shadows and the muscles I see. Just going in very lightly. PSI I have on my airbrush. Just very fine. I don't want to overspray, make it look too janky. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. Alright, so I stepped away from airbrushing for a little bit. I'm working on his mask right now. I'm doing the outlines of the webs and his outline of his eyes. I'm using a glossy black. And I'm using a very fine brush, just thin enough to fit in the grooves. I did clear coat this, by the way, so I can handle it. And then if I do make any mistakes, I can just get some water and clean it up, which I did. I made a few mistakes on this because it was so freaking hard. And this took a long time, guys. Like, it was very tedious just going over it with the fine brush and all the grooves and everything. I was like, dang, my hand was starting to hurt. But yeah, I'm just going over it. This was my very first black I used on it. I had to go over with a second layer, so it took a lot of time and a lot of patience to do this piece. But I'm very happy how it turned out in an end product. But yeah, I'm just working on the black. I'm gonna do the black on the body too. Stay tuned for that, and then see you then. Alright guys, so I'm working on Spider-Man's mask right now. Specifically his eyes. I'm using this white gray spray paint from Vallejo. I did go ahead and tape his mask up. I did clear coat beforehand so that the tape doesn't peel off on my paint, my hard work. But yeah, I'm just going over it with a nice even coat. I don't want anything too thick, nothing too light, just so when I go on my other paint, it has something to build on and not to use so much. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. I see you on the next layer of the eyes. Alright guys, so this is my second paint I'm using, which is this off-white from Vallejo. I thought this would be a good white because Spider-Man eyes to me aren't like pure white. They're like a little bit have a white tint to them with a beige kind of look. So I thought off-white would look perfect for on top of this stone white green. And I'm just going over it little by little, like a nice even layer on it. I'm doing two layers of paint just so I'm confident it doesn't bleed through or anything's gonna show underneath too much. But yeah, I'm just getting a nice even layer. I don't want no blotching or anything. Fix all my mistakes later. But yeah, things turned pretty good. I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, so these are how the eyes look so far. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna touch them up a little bit, but I really like them so far. Okay guys, so I'm starting the base, specifically the webs. I'm using this white gray as my base paint first. I'm just going over it nice and easy, nothing too heavy. I'm not too worried about the oversplash because I am going to go back with my other paints and do the background on it. I just want to get the webs, focus on the webs more because I feel like that's more important, getting that detail down. So yeah, I'm just going to go over nice and easy, get a nice little cover layer, and then I'm going to do my next layer. Okay guys, so then my next layer of painting is this off-white. I just chose off-white because I wanted more organic white and not like a pure white. I feel like pure white is just too bright of a color. And for Spider-Man's webs, I feel like the more organic and like have like a different shade of white to them, like a more darker white with a little off coloring, like a yellowish into it. So that's why I chose off-white. And I think it turned out pretty good. I really like it. And then the white gray on the base paint helps like balance it out kind of. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. But yeah, I'm just going over nice, even layers. Nothing too heavy, nothing too thick. I just want to like start building that contrast up and start making it look pretty good. I think it's turned out really great, guys. Alright, so I'm working with Spider-Man's black layers on his costumes. This is a lot of work, very tedious. This is my very first layer of paint. I still need to go back with the second layer. But yeah, I'm working on this right now. I think it's turned out pretty good. I still have a lot to go, guys. Alright guys, so this is Spider-Man's head. I think it turned out pretty good. I finished his black lines. I think it looks really nice. I still have some touch-ups I have to do, but overall, I'm really liking where I'm going with this project. Okay guys, so I'm working on Spider-Man's symbol right now. I'm painting black before I paint it red, just so it has like a black outline to it, and then the red doesn't have to work too hard. Then this is it completed, all nice and black. I'm gonna start painting the red soon. I'll show you that in a bit. Hey guys, so this is my first layer of red. I use like a more vibrant, bright red kind of, and this is my first layer. I still need to go over with the second layer, but I think it's turned out pretty good so far. Alright guys, I'm starting my base. I'm using this medium gray as my first layer of paint on it. And I'm just gonna make sure it's gonna come out good in the airbrush. I like the consistency and everything, which I do. So I'm gonna start painting. I use medium gray because I want to go for like more of the sandstone kind of look for the Spider-Man's bust that he's gonna be sitting on, like his podium kind of. So I had that in my mind, so I was trying to figure out the colors and everything. And I thought medium gray would be a good base. And I'm gonna start laying up with different paints, as you can tell. But yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. I'll see you in the next layer. Guys, for this part of the base, I use the lower PSI, and I'm trying to be careful enough to go in the lower layers, just paint it how I like it. And any mistakes I make, I'm gonna wipe them off with water and everything, because I did clear coat this beforehand, just so the wedge can be easier to handle and clean up afterwards, because it was a lot. I couldn't tape it because the way the design is. But I think I did a pretty good job once you see the end of it. But yeah, I'm just going with lower PSI and trying to be very careful with the little mistakes. And if I do make mistakes, I'm just go over back in and fix it up. Alright guys, I'm starting on my second layer of paint, which is this stone gray. I use this stone gray just to darken it up a little bit. Just like a very little, or like add some more contrast and start building up that sandstone vibe I'm going for, which I think it turned out really good in the end. Because I didn't want it like too brown or too gray. I wanted like right in the middle, like a beige kind of. That's what I'm going for, like a beige look, which I think I achieved in the end. And guys, just like the other point I did, I have this on the lower PSI right now, and I'm just going over it nice and easy, trying to get all the spots. And any mistakes you see, I am going to go back over and fix it, which is not a lot, because I did clear coat this, so it should be easy. And I'm really liking how it's turning out so far. Alright guys, so this is the finished Spider-Man bust. I think it turned out really good. I really like the red on it. It was the red I'm going for. I like the blue too. I think I really am improving on my painting skills and just my video skills wise. But I still have a lot to improve on the finer details and everything. But I think it looks amazing. What do y'all think? And if you do like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Help the channel grow more and know I'm doing a good job. But thank you all so much for the support. See you in the next video.